No, you have heard the names of Apostle Arobel Sir. You have heard Edu. You have heard Minister Theophilus Sunday. You have heard Oyo. You have heard Kuhlman. You have heard Benny Hinn. Can you one day kneel and say, Lord, if you can, if it pleases you, through me, do it again? That's what Billy did. Billy went there and knelt down when Smith Wigglesworth was praying in his room, and then he prayed until his knees put holes in the wooden floor of his house. Years later, Billy Graham was coming to do excursion and saw 2 holes in the ground. There were other children that came for that excursion, and their teacher said this was where Smith Wigglesworth prayed, and those things you see on the ground, they are his knees praying. All the children say, oh, that's exciting. And then the teacher said, okay, can we go and check the other room? As they were trying to go out, Billy Graham was stuck with those 2 legs. He couldn't leave. He now went there and put his 2 knees inside where the man prayed, lifted up his eyes to heaven. He said, Lord, if you can, do it again. We can gather in the same place. The outcome might be different. We can do the same thing together. The outcome might be different. Other children, they went with the teacher. That's what I'm telling you. I didn't know them didn't go with the teacher. They stepped out. You can step out. You can find God and begin to navigate. You can go back to there and say, Lord, consecration, me and you. I start 100 days prayer and fast with you. That's how men that you're heading to, that's how they made it. Let me tell you the truth. Nobody will pray your prayer for you. Nobody will sing your song for you. When the angel normally comes and stir the waters, the angel does not need to carry people into the pool. The work of the angel is to descend and stir the waters, and then he will step aside. It is men that will now begin to navigate. Those whose legs are weak, those whose liver is cut, they will find a way. Even if they have to tumble, they will tumble and roll inside. That was what happened here. David did not attach a name. So when the king is saying, I need water, if only 2 people here can step out from the shadows, men that will respond to a cry. When he made that cry, Adino was also one of the people in the crowd, and as he heard the cry of the master, oh, Adino said, no, let me begin to navigate. All of a sudden, Eliezer, the son of Dodo, Shammah, they did not take permission from David, and they moved into the garrison of 5,000 people and got the water. Up to that point, we did not know who Adino was. We never knew he was a mighty man. Up to that point, we don't know who Eliezer was. We did not know them. But immediately a cry came. Capacities were revealed. You don't know your capacity until you begin to respond to the cry. So in this conference, what God is releasing is a cry. The king has made a cry. Let me tell you, God does not need superstars. For God to raise you, you need to step out and say, Lord, I'm the one. Lord, I'm the one. Adino stepped out. Billy Graham put his knee there. He looked up to heaven. He said, Lord, if you can, do it again. And as you're seated there looking at me, I may not know you, but I can see a man in the spirit that can kneel down and say, Lord, will you have mercy over me one more time? It's not because of my strength. Have mercy upon me one more time. Men that God can help. I know you have been struggling for long, but Adino had to step out. I know you have heard the cry, but you are weak. Can you just step out? One night I was praying in my house. I said, Lord, just reveal yourself to me. Show me yourself. And when I pray, I stroll. I've been awake for a long time. Then I became tired. Around 3:30 to 4. Suddenly, as I passed the middle of my parlor, a hand touched me and passed. I thought it was my imagination. I got to that end. As I was coming again to the middle, the same person, as if he was standing somewhere in the middle, touched me again, as if it was a brush, and passed. That was when I became conscious. I said, somebody's here with me. And I began to sing. As I started singing, that person passed me again. Goosebumps came into my body. I fell under power and I was there till 6 in the morning. Why? Because I told him, can you reveal yourself again to me? It is hunger that brings men to the corridor of encounters. You have no hunger, you do not deserve an encounter. We come here, we try to beg you to build intensity. You can't find Jesus like that. Mary stood without the tomb, crying. Where you are, can you begin to pray? Can you begin to pray? Sanetobe. Sinakabelate.
Elule moko labadi, stamina vandora davada.